Hello there. I believe we all long for peaceful nights to enjoy ourselves and cherish the little things that warm our hearts. However, there are moments beyond our control that can change our lives forever. Here is a story about an event that could happen to anyone, even you. I hope you enjoy this story. One evening during the holiday season, I was sitting in the main square of my city. Everything was decorated for the Christmas season. Although it doesn't snow here, the atmosphere was cozy and picturesque, filled with the lights and the nostalgia of past times. That evening, I decided to treat myself to an ice cream, something I do occasionally. Other times, I enjoy a good coffee, one of life's sweet pleasures. I spot an empty bench and went to sit down. From there, I admire the Christmas decorations and listen to a children's choir singing carols. Suddenly, I noticed a strange man moving through the crowd. He sat on a bench across from me and he started staring at me. I am an ordinary girl that has no sense for me. He was wearing pitch black sunglasses with no reflections and dressed entirely in black. His gaze seemed fixed on me. I discreetly looked around to see if he was staring at someone else, but it appeared he was focused on me. I tried to ignore him, turning my attention to the lights and the choir, but every time I glanced sideways, he was still there, unmoving, watching me. When the fireworks began, the atmosphere shifted. Amid the noise, confusion, and the distraction of people looking up at the sky, the man seized the moment. He stood up with a firm motion, his gaze never leaving me, and started walking in my direction. He quickened his pace, pushing through the crowd. I felt my legs freezing, but as he got halfway, I managed to stand and run. I shoved past several people in my desperation, looking for a police officer, but the only one I saw was distracted, flirting with a waitress. I ran into a dark and eerie alley, my only option. Fear paralyzed me, and I decided to accept my fate, returning to the bench and hoping it will all end. I sat down, closed my eyes, and tried to calm myself, but then I heard something that chilled me to the bone. Footsteps approaching behind me. The sound of labored breathing made me open my eyes. Before I could react, the man sat next to me. In a cold voice, he said, "You're a fast girl, but I knew you'd come back. You always come here on quiet days, sitting on this bench, always alone. Am I really that predictable?" I thought to myself. I couldn't move. My mind was foggy and my legs wouldn't respond. Don't rush, he continued, all in good time. I don't want to hurt you, but you have something that belongs to me. How is that possible? I stammered. No, that's not true. I don't know you. I never see you before. That may be true, he said, but you like antiques, and somehow you ended up with a chest that belongs to me. I don't want to dig into how, just begin to me. He demanded my phone and added, you have 15 minutes to get it. If you don't return, the consequences will be fatal. I remember buying an old chest at a flea market a few days earlier. I had never opened it, but keep it at home, intending to sell it later. I rushed home and found the chest. When I opened it, I discovered a false bottom containing an ancient jewel, beautiful but clearly centuries old, almost glowing with its own light. It wasn't mine, so I had to return it. Terrified, I went back to the park with the chest. When I arrived, still trembling, the man stood up as he saw me. He approached, took the bag with the chest from my hands, and said, okay, I'll keep my word. I will let you go. Without another word, he turned away. Suddenly, I heard a burst of air. The man tried to run, but a bullet struck him and he fell to the ground like a puppet. Gunfire erupted all around. It was a SWAT team raid. Everything sounds like a dream to me. I ran through the crowd, crying and fearing for my life. Everyone was panicking, unsure of what was happening or why there were so many police officers. Finally, after walking for over 2 hours, where I could no longer hear any noise, I reached a bridge. Without thinking, I hurled the chest into the river with all my strength. I didn't know what it was, but it had brought me so much distress that I want nothing more to do with it. I watched it disappear into the current, and for the first time in hours, I felt safe. Calmer the next day, I saw on the news that a dangerous jewel trafficker has been captured. He had been wanted for years for scam and heinous crimes. Many people had suffered greatly when this man crossed their paths. I shuddered at the thought that I could have been his next victim. For some reason, I was given another chance, and I am here to share my story. I hope you enjoyed the story. Sometimes the smallest decisions can lead us into unimaginable danger. If you ever find yourself in a similar situation, trust in your instincts and never ignore the warning signs. See you in the next story.